Hey my loves, welcome back for another video. If you're tuning in for the first time, I'm Ashley, and if you can already tell, we're going to be doing a hair tutorial today. So I just removed a lace wig. The one I had on is a bob, and that one will be linked down below. It's the next video coming up. I went ahead and cleaned off my skin with some alcohol, and now we're going to slay start to finish, courtesy of Cynosure. Now I'm hoping I'm pronouncing the name right, but of course I have a link and all details in the description box for this wig and the company. As you guys can see, this is a kinky curly lace wig. She is nice, full, and she is definitely giving body. You can also see they provided a little bit of baby hair, and I even went in and bleached the knots off camera. This one here is a 13x6 lace wig, and this is what it looks like in the inside of the cap. I know for me, when I'm shopping for a new wig, I love to see what the inside looks like and how it comes. As you guys can see, there were knots in there, and I went ahead and bleached those again off camera. So the one thing I did not do off camera was tint the lace. I've been loving this lace tint, and I'll have it linked in the description box. I just went ahead and applied a nice thin layer of it across the hairline, and I'm gonna go ahead and use the blow dryer to dry it. Since it is a water-based product, I don't want to go ahead and reapply the wig while it's wet because it probably will transfer and get a little bit messy. Now I'm going to take a few minutes and go ahead and tweeze out the hairline. These clips I did decide to speed up, and you guys can see the overall evolution of progress in the wig as I speed through. Now, one thing I do want to mention, I purchased a fresh pair of tweezers on this day, and I will say it made a huge difference. I was able to get the exact results I want, and I didn't have to pluck or pull and tweeze too hard at the hair. It came up super nice, and I will say that I am infamous for using old tweezers, and purchasing this fresh pair from Target and tweezing out the hairline just reminded me that it is important that you use fresh, sharp tweezers whenever you are going at your hairline. If you've had them for years, scrap them and get a fresh pair, unless you know what you're doing and you're comfortable with a specific pair. Now I did customize, but I only customized in the center. I went ahead and added my Shaper's holding spray to go ahead and press out the hairline, and you guys can see whenever I press the hairline out, you could almost see instantly how that lace tint popped. When I first put the wig back on after tinting the lace, you really couldn't tell the difference, but again, as soon as you kind of wet it and then slay, you can see it's going to blend so much better, and it's a completely different color than the excess lace. The excess lace has like a lighter color, almost a greenish tint to it, and I won't have that issue with the lace that's actually attached because again, we tinted the lace. Now when it comes to your lace, everyone has preference, especially when it comes to how they customize around the sideburn and the ear tab. Majority of the time I like to leave as least as possible around this area. I also like to make a or add a elastic band underneath the wig, so that way the wig is glueless and I don't leave any tab around the sideburn. That way day to day I can wake up and just style the length of the hair and go and not have to worry about bonding anything down. And it's just simple, no sliding back at all. So of course, if you are purchasing this wig or any wig for that matter, make sure you add your elastic bands if that's a preference for a glueless install. Otherwise, use something a little bit stronger, for your day-to-day, like an actual hair glue. Also, I am planning on doing a series with actual hair glue on this channel for the 2020. Let me know if you guys are interested, and of course I will be trying the Got2b glue, the Got2b glue sport, the ghost bond, and any other wig glues you guys are interested in. I do want to kick it up a notch on this channel and be more adventurous and try things out for you guys. But of course, you guys know I love more of a glueless install, and I love things like Got2b glue, the bed head, and the ORS. So now that we're all installed, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of baby hair. You guys can see how nice and pre-plucked this wig is. And of course, you guys can also see how well it blends with my complexion. I'm going to go ahead and trim the hair down much shorter so that it can act as baby hair and not be way too long. I do love that they had hair pre-selected as baby hair, so it's easy to, you know, find pieces that were the right length, and it worked out perfect. So now we're going to go ahead and swoop baby hair. I am opting for something a little bit on the thinner side and a little bit shorter than normal. Normally I feel like the baby hair is a little bit longer and it gives a different, more unnatural effect. So I'm all about perfection and growth and progress on this channel. So here again, I went a little bit shorter with the baby hair, which I've done plenty of times, but I just kind of feel like lately the baby hair has been way too long in my recent installs. So this here going, you know, like maybe about a half to a quarter inch long, it just looks a little bit better. Now I went ahead and added a scarf and melted the lace. I only let the scarf on for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to take a comb and just comb out all of the baby hair. You guys can see whenever you comb it out, it keeps the shape as far as like the swoops go, but it just feels softer, lighter, and looser. Now I did not slay these sideburns as well as I know I could. I did not tweeze out the hairline around the sides, like below the arch of my eyebrow, and I do definitely regret that because the sideburns were definitely not as slayed as, you know, I normally would do. So be sure to take your time and not skim through on any steps and just go ahead and slay, you know, completely. So if you've been following along, you know I opted for a center part. This one is pretty full. It's actually really full. So I did want to go in and press out the lace. Now I use a hot comb to press it out along with a little bit of wax. And I just take my time, you know what I mean? I'm not in a rush. I'm not going anywhere. So I just try to get it as flat as possible. Be careful. You kind of see the smoke there. This is hot, so I don't leave it dormant in any one place for too long. But of course, be cautious. If you do purchase a hot comb, an electric hot comb, it does get extremely hot. And of course, I'll have the one I love linked in the description box. Now this is what it looks like after I press out the root. Some of you may be curious as to why I would do that and then go ahead and wet the wig. And it's because, I don't know, I just get a flatter, much better install when I press out the hairline. Even when I go in and wet it, I don't find that it reverts right away, and it just, I don't know, it just looks and feels better when the hairline is flat. It feels more like it's growing out of my scalp per se, opposed to this big thick full parting, you know, like super curly hair, and the parting just does not look good on me. So I was generous with the water. I'm going in and making sure that it is combed through with my fingers, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a product. As I mentioned before, I did bleach the knots in the very beginning off camera, and of course with that I did use a purple shampoo to wash out the bleach, and I also used my Aussie Moist as the conditioner. No, I used Tresemme as my conditioner, and for the styling I'm going to be using Aussie Moist. Now because this hair is super full, I did use a generous amount, almost kind of wanting to weigh down the hair in a way and define the curls even better, and I love the way it looks. My son laid on me It's 2 days later now. I've been wearing this wig for 2 days. This morning my son was laying on me, we were cuddling, and he's like, "Mommy, your hair smells so good." And that made me so happy. But this one definitely smells good. Aussie Moist always smells good to me. And this is the result. I didn't get much tangling or shedding, even though I did bleach the knots, and I absolutely love the way it came out. Again, my downside is that I did not slay the sideburns as well as I wanted. So off camera, about the next day, I went ahead and just cut that little tab off where those funky sideburns are. So now that I'm wearing the wig, there are no sideburns at all. Now, as you guys can see, I almost forgot to add powder to the parting. It looks good as far as the color goes and blending with my complexion, but it's just a little too thin for my liking. A lot of people will go in and tweeze out the parting for it to be just natural without adding any product, but I do find that I don't have a steady hand, so when I tweeze out my parting, it just comes out a little too crooked a lot of times, and a contour powder is the perfect solution. Contour powders typically are a cool tone, so it won't be too red in the parting. And as you guys can see, it opened up the parting. The first step I did was I used a really thin eyebrow brush, and it made for a thinner parting, and then I used a thicker brush and it made for a thicker parting, and I am pleased. The hairline did not need any powder because, again, we did bleach the knots and tint the lace, and it came out amazing. So make sure you check out this company. Cynosure's information is linked in the description box for you guys to check out. I hope you guys are enjoying the content on my channel. If so, please subscribe and turn your post notifications on. And of course, I'll see you guys in the next one. Smooches!